I really didn't have a good reason to join Greek life. I kind of just stumbled into it.
I had a lot of trouble making friends my first few months at school.
Growing up, I did a lot of theater, and I didn't really have a lot of guy friends.
I didn't come out until my junior year, actually.
So I've been out for a really long time.
I actually wasn't even out until after I graduated college. In college, I wasn't sure. I had feelings, but thought maybe it was just a phase.
Yeah, I was hesitant about rushing because, there's a stereotype of fraternities being, hypermasculine, hyperstraight organizations. And, as a freshman in college, I wanted to just sort of explore what it meant to be gay.
Was I worried that, my sexual orientation would prohibit me from joining or would hinder the process? Yes.
First day that I rushed, I went to a fraternity, and one of the questions they asked me was, if you could have sex with any male cartoon character, who would it be? And I was just like, really, is that like what you're trying to get to know about me?
At a certain point, I told my pledge educator that I was gay, and he was like, oh yeah, we know. I was like, does everyone know? And they're like, yeah, we know, and we don't care.
I had built a strong foundation with my pledge brothers, and so to tell them that I was gay was just sharing them again a little bit more about who I was. What I thought was most surprising, they were incredibly curious about what it was to be gay.
Spoiler alert, nothing changed. The conversation was super easy, and they were really, really accepting. But I definitely had reservations that they would feel weird that all of a sudden, now that I'm gay, that I'm gonna try and hook up with every single one of them, which is such a ridiculous fear that gets put in your head.
This guy wanted to bring his boyfriend to weekend away formal, and some people were uncomfortable with that. That kind of just rubbed me the wrong way because it was encouraged for these guys to find a random girl. By the time I graduated, it was a couple guys that would bring their boyfriends to formals and stuff, and that was cool to see because it didn't have to be a big deal anymore.
When I joined my fraternity, I didn't know that there were other LGBT brothers, but after I became a full-fledged brother, I was connected with gay and bisexual and queer brothers from other chapters, and we stay connected via social media outlets.
Being around a bunch of straight guys in a fraternity kind of gave me the confidence that they don't think that I'm coming on to them just because I'm gay. So that kind of helped me become more comfortable with my sexuality.
When you get to the core of who you are, people are gonna like you or not like you for much more than just your sexuality.
Once I was a senior and I was out and everything, I had a couple of them actually come up to me one-on-one and say hey, I'm actually kind of dealing with coming to terms with my sexuality right now, and how have you dealt with coming out, especially in a fraternity? That was kind of cool because I didn't feel like I had that.
My fraternity brothers are some of my best friends. I use up most of my vacation days spending it with them.
They're the ones who bring up political issues to me and are outraged about it sometimes more than I am about certain LGBT issues.
It gave me a lot of life lessons. It gave me really good opportunities to be a leader.
As an undergrad, you're sort of entering this life where you're trying to figure out who you are, where you fit in with a lot of things. And I think for a lot of LGBT folks, especially those who start rushing fraternities, it's a challenging time. And so I think being comfortable about being gay is something that you have to really discover and figure out on your own.
At the end of the day, I would definitely look out for yourself and protect yourself, and there are probably some organizations that are more accepting. I wouldn't have so many of the friends that I have, and I wouldn't have had some of the experience that I had I not joined a Greek organization. And if I had let fear of my sexuality stop me, I would be such a different person.